What's up, guys and girls? Welcome back to another video. Now, I'm sure a lot of y'all have felt it recently with the current pumps and dumps that are going on in the Pokemon market. I think we can owe a lot of that to crypto bros. Obviously, these are the people that have spent a large amount of money in the crypto market and now suddenly are trying to take their gains, whether to avoid taxes in some sorts of ways or just to move them over to another asset that I think can grow more. Crypto people have suddenly moved a lot of money into the Pokemon sphere, and that's just undeniable at this point. You have multiple streams of evidence to support this, including Rudy from Alpha Investments and just other people saying, hey, lots of people with crypto are buying Pokemon cards up. So I'm going to jump in today and just talk about what I think about this current scene and market with crypto people in here, and what I think will end up happening once they end up leaving. But first, I did want to say, if you could like and subscribe, it'd help me out a ton. We're getting really close to 100 subscribers, and I'll be doing a giveaway of a PSA 9 slab. So if you want to be entered into that once we get to 100 subs, be sure to like and subscribe. And let's go ahead and hop into the video. So first things first, I did want to bring you back, do a little recap, bring it back to when we were back in, pandemic era, back when things were going on, back in 2020, 21. There was a lot of money being given out. People had tons of free reign. Crypto was booming. NFTs were insane. Pokemon market was suddenly going insane again because of supply crunches and just huge increases in demand. And you know what? A lot of people suddenly started to turn into Pokemon cards and wanted to open them and suddenly started to see them more as investment vehicles and assets more than just a collectible card game that, it is. And this isn't a bad thing in a lot of respects, but it did have some unintended consequences that, we're still seeing to this day, of a lot of people from different scenes and different walks of life suddenly started investing money, and whether it's personal or investment, whatever vehicle it is, they were putting money into Pokemon cards, expecting returns and expecting the price to increase over time. Now, obviously, this changed the entire vibe of the Pokemon sphere, and it created kind of a bubble that we saw in 2020, 2021 until like 2022, when it all came kind of crashing back down at the end when Scarlet and Violet was kind of released, and people just didn't really care about these sort of things, and it was just dead for a good while until very recently when we've seen another big boom in the Pokemon scene, and now everything is double, triple, 4 times more expensive than what it was. So first things first that they obviously did was they tried to pump a lot of cards. There's a lot of things that fly in the crypto sphere, and now in Pokemon it's a little bit different. In crypto, it's pretty normal for things to suddenly 10x overnight and be a lot more expensive, and people to take returns and sell and do all sorts of things. But in Pokemon, that's kind of frowned upon and not, it's a collecting thing. It's for fun first and then business second. But for a lot of crypto people, they saw the gains that people were making in Pokemon and said, I want to be in on that. And they used a lot of the money they had already made in crypto and started pumping prices even higher. This means singles were suddenly at all-time high, booster boxes are all-time highs. Any sort of thing with Pokemon in it of any sort of way is suddenly at all-time highs and hitting peaks higher and higher every single day. But obviously these crypto bros weren't in it for the love of Pokemon themselves and enjoying collecting. They were in it for the money, which has caused a lot of things to be unnaturally pumped up and propped up by a lot of this crypto money that we don't know what's going to happen if the gains don't either keep going up or suddenly they start dropping downward. Who's the most likely person to pull out if there's a crash? Probably the crypto people who have a lot of money and are used to kind of liquidating a lot of stuff really quickly if there's a crash. They do it in crypto all the time, and they'll do it in Pokemon again. Much of that point is just kind of brought up by 2021, 22. They were the first people to leave the scene. You didn't really see a whole lot of crypto people. Once everything was going sideways and down, you didn't see crypto people talking about pumping Pokemon or wanting to buy extreme large amounts of Pokemon products because they were in it for the gains and not for Pokemon itself. Now, if you're in it as a business and you love Pokemon and you're like, I'm passionate about Pokemon and I'm making it a business as well, and, even if you like crypto and are into Pokemon, those things can coincide. But when people exclusively are like, I'm in crypto because I like money, and then I like Pokemon because I can make money, those sort of things are kind of, they butt heads where it's, kind of, gross in a lot of ways because they're only there for the money. That's all they care about is money. And they're money lovers, not Pokemon lovers, not crypto lovers. They are money lovers. And like I said earlier, those are going to be the first people that leave as soon as the money is not here anymore. They don't care about any of the products or anything like that. They care about money. They love money. That's what they like. That's what they care about. So if that money dries up and the wells and keep printing more money for them, they're gone. And because of this mindset that we had back in 2020, 21, it's, tricked into 2025 where people now, every single set, every promo that's released, ask, is this a good investment? I don't think that's a bad thing to ask. If you're like, I love collecting and I want to know if this will do good long term, the answer is probably yes. But at the same time, if your first action is this a good investment? And that's it, I just only want to invest. You should at least enjoy the things that you're buying. If you want to just invest, go invest in an S&P, go invest in like crypto or anything like that, where it's not a tangible asset. If you want to collect and hold things and invest in the same spin, like in the same, call where it's all the same thing, no, I say go for it. I'm investing in Scarlet Violet ETBs, but that's because I want to display them on my shelf. I'm not buying tons of them just to invest. I'm buying the ones I want because I want a full collection of all the Scarlet Violet ones. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. It's still collecting, but at the same time, I do value it as an asset in the future. If I get into financial problems, I can sell them and I can get myself out of financial problems, especially if they appreciate in value. But I feel like if people are only in it for the money, it creates a scenario where long term it can hurt the market of it in the long term even, because now younger people can't buy in at the cheaper prices. In conclusion, do I think Pokemon Crypto Bros broke Pokemon or ruined it? It's tough to say. I think they definitely brought a new angle to Pokemon collecting and investing that a lot of people didn't expect, especially in the short to long term. And I don't say they ruined it, but they definitely did a number on price-wise. It kind of affected affordability. Obviously, a lot of crypto people have a lot more, I want to say play money, but they have a lot more money that they can throw into things like this and not have to look at or care about whether it does well financially. Unless it's going down, then maybe they want to get their money out, move it to a different asset class. So I wouldn't say they've forever ruined it, because we've obviously seen once they leave, prices will go back down. It's already happened once. It'll happen again once the current market kind of takes a nosedive. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Pokemon's ruined forever? Do you think crypto bros are ever going to leave? Do you think Pokemon's ever going to go back to, $100 booster boxes? Let me know in the comments. Like I said earlier, leave a like. Join the Discord. Links in the description. I'd love to have more of y'all in the Discord, especially if you made it this far in the video. It means you watch me pretty regularly. And yeah, other than that, appreciate y'all. Enjoy the video. Take care.